Yeah, there's definitely a moxie to him. You mentioned the athleticism. You're going to like this. He told me he can windmill dunk, and he said he can get close to dunking from the free throw line. I was like, I need to see that. I mean, we saw Emmett Sheehan make a half-court shot. That's on video, right? So we need to see that windmill dunk from River Ryan. But let's get into the fun stuff, gentlemen. The over-unders for this season. Okay, we're going to bounce through this quick hitter style. Some thoughts on the big show. We haven't talked Shohei Ohtani yet. And the first over-under, I think this is the most interesting one. We can talk home runs, but over-under 23 and a half starts for Shohei Ohtani. Fabian, I'll start with you.
I'll go over. I think he's obviously only gone over this mark one time in his career, but it's clear the Dodgers and him want him to sort of go wire to wire this season if possible. It doesn't mean they're not going to skip a start here and there, but I think Ohtani wants to log as many innings as possible, so I'll go over.
Jerry.
I'm going to go over. I think he makes possibly 25 starts this season.
I'm going over too. I mean, I think we saw his last start, 11 strikeouts. I mean, he looks like a man on a mission. The most starts he's made in the season is 28. If he does go over, I mean, this could be the defining Shohei Ohtani season if he's able to do the next question, and that is hit 50 or more home runs. Fabi, you got over under 50 bombs for Shohei.
I'll do slight under. He's got over 50, obviously, the last two seasons and set the Dodgers single season mark both of those times. But I'll say under just because he's logging more innings.
Jerry.
I'm going to go over. I'm not doubting this guy. This dude, you saw Acuna Jr. in the WBC leadoff his side, the Venezuelan side, home run. He goes, I'm going to go to the first inning. I'm going to lead off our side with a home run. This guy loves the challenge. I think he hits 51 home runs.
51 home runs, so he hit 55 last year. He had 54 in 24. I'm going 60 for fun. And it'll be the season for the ages. So give me a 60 bomb season for Shohei. Okay, next one, the newest all-star Dodger to the lineup, Kyle Tucker. A 30-30 season. By the way, talk about a guy who had a 50-50, right? Yeah, 30-30. How impressive is that? I mean, still very, very impressive. And I think it's a real testament to the speed and how dynamic of a player he is. Over under 30-30, Fabian, for Kyle Tucker.
I say sure. Why not? He was one home run away from it in 2023, his last full season, and that was his last season with Houston Astros. I think he's in a position to do that this year. Obviously, understanding, like Jerry kind of talked about, he's going to see a lot of fastballs this year. And also, the Dodgers aren't going to be afraid necessarily to run in front of a Mookie Betts or a Freddie Freeman. If anything, some action on the bases in front of those bats and ball guys is even more of a benefit.
I'm going to agree. I think he does go 30-30. I think he's going to take advantage of Dodger Stadium. You got to remember, it was cold there in Chicago, and it's a tough place to play at Wrigley Field April, early May when it's really, really cold. And then late in the season when it's really cold. And remember, he was banged up as well. So I think he's going to love the friendly confines, if I will, at Dodger Stadium because the weather is going to be perfect. It's going to be 75, 80 degrees. He's going to love hitting our lineup. Definitely 30-30 for Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, I think just infusing the lineup with a all-star under 30, a guy who you know is going to want to play 150 plus games, and he's got the talent to do it. I got to say over two. I mean, I think that and plus a run out of Gold Glove. I think it's going to be a monster year for Kyle Tucker. I think he's going to be the Dodgers' second most productive hitter in this season. Now, Freddie Freeman, another guy who could certainly be that, has made it very clear, Fabian. He likes the 3 to start his batting average, and he doesn't like the fact that it wasn't a 3 last season. Does he get back to being that 300-plus hitter this year?
I think he hits 300 on the dot. I think he does.
Okay.
He came really close last year. Like he was 295 last year, and it was what he felt was kind of a down year swing-wise, especially second half of the season. The first half of the season, especially May, he was like red hot, in line possibly for batting championship. So I think having a full season healthy from that ankle is going to help him. I think he hits 300.
All right, Jerry, for your guy, Fab 5 Freddie, what do you got?
Fab 5 Freddie is going to hit 313 this season. I think because he's going to be hit 4th and 5th this season, I think he's going to have less at bats, let's say against left-handed pitching. I think because of that, he's going to walk a little more. 313 this year for Freddie.
And we know that he already made it clear, Fabian. He told us in Camelback, right, that he wants to continue his career with the Dodgers past where his contract is with a couple years left. And I think it's very obvious he wants 3,000 hits. So he's got 2,431 hits, and we know he wants to get to 3K, so a 300 batting average gets that. And by the way, can we just say that I kind of appreciate in this age of analytics, which I'm very into, that a guy wants to hit 300, that he appreciates the 300 batting average. Of course, batting average isn't what it used to be, but I appreciate the fact that he likes that plateau.
I've never heard of a guy hitting 300 or 310 or 330 have a bad season at the plate. I've never heard of it. Guy usually hits 330. Guess what? He had an incredible offensive season. So yes, it's still cool to hit for high average.
Yeah, what does Joe Davis say is the most miserable 300 hitter in baseball? I think that tells you a lot about the standard that he has set for himself. Now, Mookie Betts, I really love this one. I love this one, Fabian, because it's kind of right in between kind of a slumping Betts, kind of a peak MVP Betts. Of course, 2018 Betts was on a whole other level, but over under a 120 OPS plus season for Betts.
I'm going to say slight under, but it's going to be a bounce back from what last season was. I do. I think last year he had a fight even just to get to, I think it was a 105 or something that he finished last year at. I think this year's going to be a lot smoother start to finish, a lot more of a typical Mookie Betts season, even if it's a little bit lower than maybe his career norms.
How about you, Jerry?
I'm gonna go over. I think now that he's working with Sensei, he's got his weight back. He's stronger. He made sure that he kind of monitored his weights, not just in the offseason, but also in the spring training. They slow played him. I think he's going to be a lot fresher. I think it's going to be slightly over.
Yeah, that 2021 season had a 126 OPS plus. So it's not like every season it's been 135 or more. I'm going to go slightly over two. And I think that you emphasize the strong shortstop play, and that kind of really is the best part of his value that he provides for the next couple of years for this team. Okay, next one, Edwin Diaz. By the way, Fabian, what was it like to hear the first Timmy trumpets at the stadium? Not as electric as it's going to be hopefully tonight, but just a little appetizer, right?
I wasn't there the other day, but I'm sure it will be, especially once they get that new ribbon board installed in the next week or two.
Yeah, it's going to be hype in there. Over under 34.5 saves for Edwin Diaz. I'm
going to go over, just because there's going to be a lot of games where the Dodgers have the lead in the ninth inning, and they have a guy who they know they'll trust in that sort of spot. So I'm going to go over.
How about you, Jerry?
I got over too. I think he has 40-plus saves this season.
And he has been under every year except he only had 57 in 2018. I'm going to go over two. Because that's going to be the role he's going to have on this team. I think they want to have that push button closer. So we'll go over there. Over under 5.5 all-star selections for the Dodgers. They've had at least 5 every year since 2018. Fabian?
I'm going to go over. I mean, it's hard to really list all possibilities because of how talented the Dodgers are. So especially if the Dodgers have the first half that they probably will, I would go over.
I go over as well. There's just too talented of a roster.